What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I took 739 SPY 0 DTE puts today for about a 35% return. Did it on live with the students. Now, I'm not going to lie, all-time highs this year has been probably one of the easiest trading conditions for me, and it's because of a couple different things I'm doing. Now, we're going to go over it all in this video. I'm going to go over how I've been doing my higher time frame analysis, how I'm reading the order flow, and most importantly, how we're incorporating AI into our trading system. Now, the AI trading system that we're using is called Tradevora, and as of now, every single one of our mentorship students is getting free access to it for a limited time. Now, if you are interested in joining our mentorship, make sure you check out the waitlist application below. As of now, it is currently closed. We open up spots once our students graduate. Now, for those of you guys that were wondering about Tradevora, what it does is it's being fed raw order flow, and it's then taking that data and interpreting it in a specific way. Now, we won't get too deep into the coding of it. However, what it's actually going to be giving you is the trade engine, which this is where it's analyzing all of the order flows coming in, looking for exhaustion, looking for absorption. It's then going to rate it and grade it and give out priority signals. So as of now, the market's closed. There's no confirmed trade signals right now. If you go back to the absorption history, though, you can see all of these signals that it gave, and then you can also click explain, and it gives you all this data. It gives you an AI interpretation, gives you the trade implication, tells you what happened, tells you its bias, the confidence. You get all this data. Now, you don't want to use this as just a signal bot and blindly follow it. The best traders that are having success with this are using this as an added confluence into their system. If you also want to see the zones, the zone history shows you all the zones that it's been plotted. And if you do not have a TradingView subscription, because this automatically links with TradingView and you can get these live zones plotted automatically, you can go to the live zones, and as you can see ES, we've got NQ, we've got gold, we've got the VIX. You can see the demands and the supplies, and it'll also tell you the priority zone. Now, if you are wondering why this is the priority zone, you can click zone breakdown and you'll get, again, an AI breakdown. It also tells you where the zone is from. So it tells you the score, where it's coming from, the midpoint, and the range. So absolutely everything you need is quite literally right there. There's not a single other AI order flow analysis tool, or whatever you want to call it, out there on the market. Like I said, this is being fed raw data. So it's not a lagging bullshit indicator. And I mean, the trades and the success that we've been seeing our students have is second to none. It's absolutely insane. Now, before we get into the trade for today, we have to take a look at the higher time frame. So I've got SPY pulled up right now. And for those of you guys that were wondering about the live zones, this is how it looks like on TradingView. So it will plot them, it gives you the midpoint, and it tells you basically this visual representation of what these zones are telling you. Now, for today's trade, we have to start out on the higher time frames. And as you can see, we have a historic bull run on our hands. The 4-hour chart has quite literally been going straight up. Now, one of the things that I've been doing is I'm looking to fade the 30-minute trend into the overall 4-hour trend. So I am looking for bearish 30 minutes to take into demand, to then zoom in on the 5-minute and look for some sort of structure shift to take long. I have been doing this exact same thing. Now, again, that's a simplified version because we're going to get into the order flow. But I've essentially been doing that exact same thing every single day. And when the risk is right, when the structure's on my size, and when it makes sense to take the trade, I've been taking it, accepting the outcome, and we have been having an amazing results so far. Now, obviously, in trading, nothing is 100%, and this is likely to continue to slow down a bit as we move away from all-time highs or enter into some chop, but we are going to take advantage of this. Essentially, what we're doing is I'm simply just waiting for the 5-minute to be bullish, the 30-minute to be bullish, and the 4-hour, which is already bullish, to all match up. When I can get those 3 time frames biases to match up, my trade has a significantly higher chance of hitting my take profit than hitting my stop loss, as long as I'm entering with correct invalidation, correct take profit levels, and managing my trade correctly, which we're all going to get into in this SPY trade. So off the open, I can tell, hey, this is the first time we're actually seeing decent selling and a decent move to the downside. We have a fairly bearish 30-minute opening, right? Overnight, we sold off. You know, we're kind of chopping. We're putting in lower lows here pre-market and overnight. Now, why I think a lot of people struggle today is because they didn't take a look at the higher time frame. They think, hey, we're just gonna either have a huge sell-off and just, completely erase all these gains, or we're just gonna keep pumping all-time highs. However, what goes up has to come down, right? We have to see these retracements to continue moving upwards. But even with this retracement, we are still respecting an extremely bullish trend to the upside, right? So I am not going to just instantly long or instantly short. I want to wait and see what the next time frame that I do my analysis on, the 30-minute, tells me. Now I can tell here. Let's take a look at ES. It'll be easier to see. So now let's take a look at ES. ES is actually fairly bearish on the 30-minute, looking overnight and looking pre-market. We have a break of VWAP, we have a retest, we have a rejection of VWAP, we have a break lower, we have another retracement, we have another break lower. We're bearish on the 30-minute. Now I zoom into the 5 and I say, hey, we've been chilling underneath VWAP all night. We have not broken above. So I was saying, hey, we could potentially be seeing, if not a chop day, a break to the downside to then look to target some of these 4-hour lows. The closest being that 70, let's see if I marked it out right. Yeah, 735.67 area, basically this 4-hour low. So knowing that, I was like, okay, I don't mind watching for the shorts. And what did we do? Well, first of all, let's take a look at let's get this set up on the 1. Now, we have these pre-market lows marked out, and I know I have a 4-hour draw to the downside, right? If today was going to be the day to where we were actually going to come down to a previous 4-hour level, which again still would be a demand until we break, I was looking to capitalize on that. Now, let me show you what happened. Before I pull up Tradevora, let's take a look at the tape. Again, you guys know I'm an order flow trader. Off the open, we see a move into kind of like these 30s area on ES. We see buyers try to defend. We see sellers start to fill some of these offers. Now, once we filled that 30s offer on ES, I looked to enter shorts, right? So on SPY, that looked like right here. Once we filled that offer, we then saw an aggressive seller get filled beneath. And as you take a look, we filled this passive offer, we filled this passive offer, and we filled this passive offer. So when I see sellers on the tape while I'm in a short position, filling all these passive offers and continuing to move price down, that is signaling to me, hey, sellers are in control. Your position is good as of now. Now, why did I get out of the majority of my position on ES 74.20s, and then on SPY that was at the 738s, or actually a little bit right beneath the 738. So it was like 737.98. So, couple reasons. One, I don't know if we were actually going to sell off all the way down to that 4-hour level. Nobody knows. Now, looking at the tape and reading order flow and not just guessing when to take my trims, we can see as we came down into this level, sellers completely got exhausted. They completely disappeared. They stopped filling these large passive offers as they were doing previously. And what did we see happen? We see buyers step up after the failure to fill this passive offer and continue to the 16s. Buyers step up, retest the top of this area, and then we continue and we started to aggressively fill the passive offers above us, pushing price to the upside. Now, another reason is I took 739 puts. Once they reached a little bit beneath 738, they became an extra dollar in the money. They became deeper in the money, meaning the premiums experienced a premium spike. Again, another good reason to take your trim. This happened in about 3 to 4 minutes. So 3 to 4 minutes, we already see a dollar move. Yeah, that's why I had a 35% return. So took the majority of my position out there, especially once we saw a failure to fill this passive offer. I moved break even. Now, it's quite idiotic to let my runners go red after I take a pretty hefty trim. So I'm always going to move break even after I move like that. Now, if we take a look, and this is crazy, if we take a look at the Tradevora auto demand levels on SPY, look exactly where it pinged out. It marked that 738.01 demand. We wicked it on the one and did not retest it all day. I lied. We didn't retest it till the close. That demand plus this order is how I managed my position and didn't let a decently sized return, right? 35% return on the day, turn red. So this is exactly why I didn't just go break even and let my entire position get out, or just not take any trims and assume it's going to fall. No, learn how to read order flow. Actually look at the tape, then combine it with these auto levels, and your trading will take off. Now, I want to address something that somebody asked on my last video. I show you guys where I got out. This is not my intended target in RR, right? I was targeting the bottom, was targeting that 735.67 and the bottom of this 4-hour supply. I'm sorry, demand. So it would have been a much higher RR. Now, I talked a little bit about our mentorship, and we trade live every single day. We're commentating the market. We're streaming our order flow. We're commentating order flow. We're helping our students out in live market conditions. And if you're interested, make sure you check that waitlist application down below. And I just want to show you guys some of the profits that our students have been doing. They have been absolutely killing it. Finally passed my 10 Apex 50Ks. Hell yeah. One and done from Rockster. Hell yeah. Green Day from Ace. 912 across 3 accounts. Mike securing 10 points. And this is just today. They are absolutely printing. And yeah, all in all, really good day. 35% return on those SPY puts. Wish it was a little bit bigger. You know, if we got that break to the downside, it would have been really nice. But hey, we're using AI. We're using order flow analysis. We're sticking to our plan. We're following our rules. And at the end of the day, what more can you ask for? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss any more. And have a good weekend.